This thing has been a beauty. I'm gonna make $600,000 on this home. I bought it for $129,000 originally, but it's finished up. And you're gonna see, I'm gonna take you inside and around the perimeter, and I'm gonna show you how to fix up a home for sale. Today, this house I'm prepping, this one is a 3-2, it's a 1967 build. I put this fence around it. This house, I put crown molding everywhere because it's an older home. The ceilings are a little bit low. And so the way you make up for that is you put crown molding, it just seems to raise the ceilings, but it helps modernize it a little bit without obviously something you can't do, which is raise the ceilings economically. It's important to pay attention to like just the little things. And so you'll see, I'll make sure that when these lights go on the fence, the lights will go, there'll always be a light on each side of the driveway. And then like on this little entrance right here, I'll make sure to put a light on each side here. And then another thing that I'm gonna do, and you can take a look, we'll look around the outside of this house. I'm gonna put some little accent lights in the planter, just to throw a little bit of light up on the house. And this is so when people come by and they look at it and they dream about it and they wanna come back through at night and have a look, they'll see how beautiful it is, that it's lit up at night. And those accent lights are just really pretty. But it also it's letting them know that this place is special to me or to somebody, right? And you always want to treat the property, and I talk about that like when I stage it, it'll have new appliances and things like that in there. And the reason for that is you want it to look like it's worthy of new appliances, even though it's an old house. So we'll go inside here. Another thing I just noticed, see this PVC that's sitting on the patio down here? This is a condensate line. This is junk. It shouldn't be this way. It's been that way for a long time. But what I'll do is I'll put a little sump pump, basically. It's a little pump that goes next to the air conditioner. And instead of this pipe being out here, it'll deposit into that. And when it hits a certain level, it'll pump it out through the attic, and we'll probably have it poke out the side, and that'll get rid of the condensation water from the AC. Around here, we're gonna replace the lights. This is gonna light up nicely underneath. When people pull up, there'll be a motion detector that'll light this up in here. One of the things I'm debating on, I'll decide when this is completely done, because I'm gonna repaint the trim. This has got this brown trim. I'm gonna go with the dark gray trim. And okay, here our toilets are here now too. And then back here, I may pull out this chain link fencing. It's got some utility in somebody that wants to keep their dog inside, but other than that, it's just kind of ugly. We'll see if it's not too dark in here, if you want to take a look when you pull in. All right, so in here you can see I've got crown molding that's all been shot. You can see on the walls here, they've been in here, they spray. A lot of times they'll find one room to do all the gloss coat for on the trim and on the base if they shoot it separately. This they painted in place, but all the doors that go in the closet, you always want to put something with a little more of a shine on it so that it wipes clean. This makes me nervous. Don't ever let anything like this stand. See that there? When you see a nail like that, just push it over. I've stepped on probably 5 nails in my lifetime. It doesn't feel good. So again, here's the laundry room. You guys might remember how I rerouted the plumbing that was on the exterior of the wall. It's now tucked in neatly and hidden. In here, got nice open bar, and you're gonna see this is all gonna be done today, but all this crap will come out of here. All the switches and plugs will be replaced. They'll have new stainless steel finished plates on them. This fireplace over here, I'm either gonna put a new mantle on it. The tenant that was in here before cut these off, but I'll either mount some angle bracket and I'll put a new mantle here, or what I may do is I may just knock the edges down on here and I may just paint this whole thing gray, and it'll probably look like just like the rocks that are mixed in with it, even though it's wood. And we may just hang a TV back up on there. Now these bathrooms are exceptionally small. I put in new countertops. You can see this is quartz countertop. This is quality stuff. I put them in 5 houses in the last month. So I like to do everything somewhat the same. You can see back in here, we got new tile. There's the other toilet. So Inside here, tiles done. All this is coming out. All the trash, all the paper on the floor is coming out. It actually has a very nice tile floor. And then in here, again, new quartz countertops. We'll get some mirrors. They have plenty of mirror selections, by the way, at Home Depot and Lowe's. This will get new mirrors as well. This is a tiny, this is like a telephone booth size. Not that they even have telephone booths anymore, but a telephone booth size shower. So this is going to be one pane of glass here, and then this is going to be a door. This is probably going to cost $2,500. It's hard to believe. That's just for the glass. But the difference is when you stand here, you can see through it. So the bathroom isn't going to feel as small. Where if I tore out the wall that was here, but if I left the wall here and had just a simple door here, this bathroom would feel impossibly tiny. And but by being able to see through the glass, it's going to eliminate that. We've already measured for blinds this morning. I have a man buying blinds today. And most of these are somewhat of a standard size, so all new blinds going on all the windows. Those will be in probably by tomorrow. And we'll probably, all these are going to be replaced with, this one's already fairly new, but this will be, everything's going to be this style, not the typical switches. And then we'll have these flush mount lights you see here up on the ceiling. Those are typical. I put those everywhere. These things that are hanging down, these are going to be just basically hanging lights. They're like a cord, and they kind of come down to a little dome. They're just a nice accent light, and they don't cost very much. It's easy to do. These fans actually work really well. They're very old, but they work really well. These will be painted probably to match the trim. And then on the concrete, I'm debating, I think I'm gonna go ahead and paint this floor, this concrete floor on this patio. I might paint this, I don't know, I'm debating. One of the things I am doing though is on this, somebody cut a path here. Presumably this path was cut to facilitate power to this power line, but you can see this thing's dropped a ½ inch. So this isn't that big a deal. We'll pry this up and we'll level this to make it level all the way. And then maybe, like I said, we'll paint this whole walkway and including this patio. And then again, we'll get it lit up underneath here with lights. Inside here, this is a nice little, exterior workshop. Could be an office, an art room. I noticed all the power is up high. So presumably it was a workshop where the had benches, and this is the power up above the counters. So I put crown molding in this. This actually needs to be just hit lightly sanded, and then we're gonna paint it smooth wall, and it'll look fine. And you can see they still have a couple of doors. You can see how they put the doors in here, then they tack wood to hold them up. And so they can just get everything in the middle of the room and get it painted up nice and clean. They'll pop those off. Every door is numbered, every jamb is numbered, so they know right where each door goes to. Anyhow, I've got a little extra motivation, because I want to get these things sold before they take away the forbearance, the stuff that's out there, and they start allowing people to evict tenants that aren't paying. I want to get this thing on the market and sold before I have the other possible 9 million homes that are going to be coming on the market. And when they come on the market, people are going to be selling them, and the market's going to drop because there's just going to be way more inventory. Right now, the inventory is short, and that's why I'm getting such a premium on the real estate that I have. Just noticed the screen door looks like hell. Gonna get rid of it. I'm not gonna put a new one on there. That'll just disappear. Listen, also I'll give you a tip. When it comes to houses, like these have new windows, so all the screens look beautiful, right? But a lot of times when you have a house that's older, the screens are one of the ugliest things. So sometimes you're better off just pulling all the screens and just make the windows perfectly super clean and super clear. See all these bags of leaves? This is actually, if you look down here, these are the leaves that are like turning into compost. You can see they're already turning into compost, and that's great. The problem is though, is I got to make this thing look like a show home right away. So these guys are scraping every leaf off of every bit of dirt surface, in between everything. You can see we've got a lot of green, but it's not very thick. These guys, you can look at all these bags. It didn't even look like there was any leaves in the yard because they were stuck so close to the ground. They're scraping everything out. That's what all these bags are. getting all these leaves out of here, and then they're gonna throw grass seed, and then all this is gonna green up super fast, super pretty. And even though it won't be real thick, it'll all be green. And that's the main thing, is make it green. And this is the perfect conditions for it right now. We've got overcast air, overcast skies, and which is perfect for getting things to sprout. Also, I've got appliances coming in, so appliances will fill this up. Then next week it'll be staged with furniture. And so you'll see the before and after comparisons. Hey, Tom here. Look, wholesalers, flippers, investors, listen, you want to get good guidance. You want to build a portfolio. This is what it really looks like to be a successful real estate investor. Been doing it for 4.5 decades, have hundreds of thousands of square feet of rentals, have students that have become millionaires in as little as 2 years. Go to FlipAnythingUSA.com. I'll show you how to do it. So these are the lights we've been placing. You can see we got them all the way around the yard now. So Beto's putting goop in each of those corners. He'll set those down, and then by tomorrow they'll be stuck on real good. Won't go anywhere. The trees are trimmed, so everything's groomed, everything's landscaped well. We're patching up the grass. You can see grass seed down here where I'm filling up some of the barren spots. That door is gonna get painted that you see there. And we're working on another door. So all the brown trim I had repainted gray. I didn't like the brown trim particularly well. And they're patching up this door right now. So they're sanding this out and painting it black, or almost black. And they're gonna do that to both of the doors. Now we're not gonna worry about staging this room right here. I was thinking about staging this room as the master, even though it isn't the master. It may end up being that, but it's a big bonus room either way. So now in here, we're completely staged. We got art on the walls. We got, pillows and couch and chairs. And it's made up to look like somebody's living here. And looks really good. I'm really happy. She's real good about space, so it looks as roomy. You want to make it look as roomy as possible, but not look like it's bare. And I think she did a good job of that. We got our quartz countertops. This is a brand new stove. It's not a cheapie. It's not the best. Over here on the, again, quartz countertops, I've been putting these in almost all my houses. And we've got deep sinks. I think these little screens are a nice touch. So we've got the screens inside. All the hardware's been replaced with brushed nickel. It has a nice appearance. Go look at these cabinets for a sec. These cabinets are actually 60 years old. And I used to be a cabinet maker. I owned a cabinet shop for 10 years. And these are some really well-made cabinets. I could have painted them, but I actually think this is prettier. So back here, you see crown molding. I got everywhere. We can come look this way. Like I say, I can't raise the ceilings, so the easiest thing I can do is put crown molding on. It just gives you the appearance that makes the ceilings feel higher. I can't explain why, but that's why. And you can see now looking back here, it looks pretty spacious. There was a peninsula cabinet that came out here, like so. The problem is it just stifled this area. It was just way too tight. Where now I could put a couch here. I could cheat into this area a little bit. So I pulled that out. Plus it just looks so much more open. So really pleased with all this. The bedrooms, now this is one of 3 bedrooms. It's got crown molding, got the lights, new lights. All the switches, of course, are tabs, the new tabs. And then back here, just painted all the existing stuff. In the bathrooms, these bathrooms are the biggest challenge I've ever had because they're so damn small. You can take a look here. New toilets, original cabinets. Yeah, you can see the mirror on the wall here. This is just standard stuff you can get out of Lowe's, but it kind of complements the sink hardware. And again, same stuff that's in the kitchen. I like it, it's clean. But you can see it's tiled. When I tile, I go all the way up the walls and I do the lid or the ceiling. And not everybody does that. It costs a little more, but I just think it looks a hell of a lot better. Now I put a new Nest thermostat here just to, again, it makes the house look more upgraded and cool, and that's what that's about. I only put the fan in the 1 bedroom because I knew I was going to do it. It's got a remote control on the wall. This isn't a particularly big room. That's why this is, I don't think this is a queen. This looks more like a double. If you got a small room, don't put in a king size bed. Don't even put a queen size bed. Put in a double. Makes a room look bigger. It's finished out with decent furniture. It just looks great. A lot of people just don't have the capacity to visualize walls and things. I've always been able to. In here, the glass isn't in yet, but this is gonna be basically like a phone booth. There's gonna be glass on 2 walls here, and the door will open this way. And I went all glass just to make this bathroom look bigger, so that when you look in, you can see through the glass and you'll be able to see all this. Because imagine this being a wall right here. And now, you know, if I was a wall, you can see, that's all you'd see. It ain't gonna help sell anything. Now I put in all this gravel, and for $100, you can put in a fire pit, or maybe $150. You buy a little kit for the stones that you see there. Now, my neighbor had complained about this light. This light hasn't worked in 25 years. And my neighbor is the one that I just sold this house to next door. And he said, hey man, what do you think about that light? Is there anything we can do about it? And I said, you know what? So that light's been there for probably 50 years, but it's been broken for the last 25 years. I just fixed it because I'm selling it. I said, so I had an automatic with the sun going down, had a photo sensor. So I said, don't worry, I'll take care of it. And you can see I put an on-off switch here down at the base. And so now, yeah, you can hear it buzzing. It's a quartz light. Problem solved. He doesn't have to look at the light. I told him, I said, look, I'll put in an on-off switch. I said, I'm sure the light will get used once in a while, but it'll be used when it's needed. So back here, this is another cool feature, like the other house that I'm selling right now. It's having this little bungalow in the back. And this is a little bit bigger, actually. This is about the size of a garage, about 20 by 20. And it's echoing because there's nothing on the floor. So another nice little workshop. Somebody can run an office back here. If they want to meet a customer can pull up in their driveway or on the street, and they have their access to come to the home office, but without having to enter the home. You can see up on the lid here, we have flush lights, and I see we actually got a little bit of trim, and you can see we had reworked this after the first paint job, and I got a little bit of trimming to do, just some beige paint around that. Let's take a look at the box. That's one thing I forgot to look at, is I haven't looked at this panel in so long. Whenever you get an old house, you're usually concerned with a couple things. One is aluminum wiring. They tried it, it was a mistake. This doesn't have aluminum wiring. The other thing is the box itself. There's 2 boxes that are a nightmare. And they're probably made by the same company, but it's Federal Pacific and Zinsco. Zinsco and Federal Pacific, they had faulty fuses. Their fuses weren't any good. They wouldn't break. The breakers wouldn't trip. And they had some other issues too. I don't know exactly what all the issues were, but they're dangerous and they're a fire hazard. And so every time I buy an old house, I don't necessarily have to change out the entire panel, but what I have to do is replace the breakers. And this is a big tip for you guys that have this. The breakers, they have an aftermarket breaker that's UL rated, so it doesn't have the same problems that the originals had. The problem is they cost about $80 a piece. But if you go to eBay, you can find these things in quantity come up for sale, and you can buy them for $10 a piece and save a lot of money. You figure a panel like that, if there's 20 of them, that's at $80 a piece, that's $1,600, so you can save some money. So these guys are picking up, and we're gonna put some more lights underneath here, similar to the ones under the little workshop out back. You can see we got the lights. I made sure that we had a light at each corner so that when you know, they got a point of reference, the light on each side of the driveway for pulling in. I'm debating on pulling the chain link. The chain link is kind of ugly. I think most people can see through that the chain link can obviously be removed, but at the same time, I think the chain link has some utility and value, because if somebody has a dog, they can have a dog running around the yard that's not completely free, but still protect the property. So anyways, this is gonna be a really profitable one. This is actually the first house that I bought in this neighborhood. Paid $129,000 for it. I expect it to sell for close to $729,000. So it'll be a $600,000 profit, plus the fact that it's been rented since day one. It's paid for itself. The tenants paid the mortgage for me basically all these years. So listen, if you're new to my channel, please subscribe. It shows me that I'm doing it right and that you like what you see. So if you would, as a favor to me, please hit that subscribe button and hit that like button too. In the comments, ask any questions you want. I'll come back and answer them. Or if there's something else you'd like to see or want to know about, I'll get to it for sure. Thanks. You want to learn how to make millions of dollars in real estate? I've made tens of millions over my lifetime, and I'm showing people how to do it. Get in my free webinar. I have it every Thursday, 7 p.m. Central. Go to the link below, FlipAnythingUSA.com/webinar. Sign up for it. You can talk to me face to face if you want. Don't waste any time. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. You don't want to miss my channel. I've been doing it for years.